We've got our local Windsor, Ontario real estate expert. So I know a lot's changed in the real estate market. Last time we were talking, the market was pretty hot in Windsor. What's going on now?
It's just red hot. Definitely seller's market, huge bump in the market. The numbers are pretty high. The number of listings are still low, like 12% lower than the last year. But the number of sales has increased 26%.
What is up, YouTube? Matt McKeever here, and we're back talking about Windsor, Ontario's crazy real estate market again with our local expert, Aditya, who's a realtor from Windsor, Ontario. Reminder, as always, guys, if you're looking to do something in Windsor, really encourage you to reach out to Aditya or one of his team members. They're really crushing it for investor realtors in Windsor. But today, we're going to be talking about the crazy real estate market that's going on right now in Windsor. It is a very hot market. There's almost no inventory. And we're just going to kind of be discussing how this is going to impact investors going forward. And should you be buying or selling? Let's talk about Windsor.
What is up, YouTube? Matt McKeever here, and we've got our local Windsor, Ontario real estate expert back in the house, Aditya. Hey, Aditya, how's it going?
Doing fantastic, Matt. How are you?
Doing well, and excited to have you back on the show. So I know a lot's changed in the real estate market and a lot hasn't changed at the same time. So last time we were talking, the market was pretty hot in Windsor. What's going on now?
It's just red hot. Definitely seller's market, but certain things have changed. Like literally, it's only been 30 days we talked, right? But a huge bump in the market. Probably we'll go deep into those numbers, but I just saw a news yesterday that CIC announced that they are giving away 27,000 people a PR card for Canada. So that's a huge news.
Interesting, yeah. So I know you put together some slides for us, so let's pull those up, and excited to jump into the data.
So first of all, it's like the beginning of the January, I was like not sure where the year is going, so much skeptic about it. But I think so many reasons that we discussed last time, especially the immigration new plans by CIC, and also people are attracting more towards having their own home, their own backyard because of the work from home option, getting really tired of living in that small one-bedroom condos or two-bedroom condos. So I think those are like some major reasons, and also interest rate has also dropped again. So because of that, I guess the numbers are pretty high. So if you looked at the number of listings are still low, like 12% lower than the last year, but the number of sales has increased 26% higher. Like it's insane. And if you looked at the average price in Windsor, 510,000. So what does that means for an investor? Honestly, with my investor hat, maybe this is the time where you can sell a couple of properties that are like probably either you don't like to keep them for long run because there is like a huge spike. So we don't know how long this spike is going to last. So I feel this is like a perfect time for selling some of them and holding that cash for a dip to buy again. Just if you don't know where is this Windsor, why Windsor is getting a lot of attention, just quickly highlights about Windsor. Windsor is actually on end of 401. Yes, the popular highway ends in Windsor in west side. So few things that makes Windsor very attractive for investors and even first-time home buyers who are living in bigger cities. One is the affordable price. So still the average price point I mentioned for 500,000, that's an average detached home price, where in bigger cities it's kind of a two-bedroom condos price. So affordability is still low. What it means for investors, you can still find properties that can cash flow. Again, of course, being that red hot zone where solid sellers market, Of course, we as investors need to, vet more deals. Of course, we have to work way harder than we used to work. And one of the things that many people don't see about Windsor is not just a small city. Windsor actually just have one of the biggest city in US, Detroit, just literally like 1.5 kilometer. The downtown is literally 1.5 kilometer away from Windsor downtown. So that means it's a good opportunity for people who are living in Windsor also can work in Detroit. Not only just the Detroit downtown, there are like many cities where a lot of IT jobs, a lot of medical jobs, a lot of other jobs that available for Canadians who can go on TN visa. So that means that the city growth is also depending on the other city. So that Detroit is coming up quite along there. It's been revitalizing very, very consistently from last few years. So that's a huge plus. And then best weather compared to a lot of cities. Of course, we do have snow. Actually, today is like a pretty high snow this high outside, but comparatively, Windsor has like, difference in the weather. Like we don't have snow that often. It's just beautiful. And, city being small, that actually attracts many people because, if you're living in a bigger city and you're driving for work, it's just like, if you're living in Mississauga, drive to Toronto downtown, it's like probably 1 hour or more. So whereas in Windsor, like literally 15 minutes anywhere if you want to go. And if you have a work from home option, awesome. You can hang out with your friends within 5-10 minutes. That's another huge advantage. Along with that, University of Windsor and St. Clair College, they are actually attracting a lot of international students, which means a growth for city economy because, international people come with money. They pay heavy tuition fees compared to local. It's almost double fees. And they come here, they live, they consume the food, consume, different things, and they work, they pay taxes. So definitely helps a lot for city economy. So of course you might ask, oh, it's a COVID time, not many students are coming. Yes, that's true. But how long it's gonna stay like this? I think that's one of the solid attention here in Windsor with the two major college and university attracting international people. So I am very optimistic about college and the university going back to normal probably within less than a year. Another one is major projects that are happening in Windsor. One, the bridge construction that's already started a year ago, and another major project coming up soon, a mega hospital, probably will be starting next year, I guess. Just the COVID is pushing further along, but they already have all the approvals and everything ready. These two projects alone, like almost a $3 billion project, I believe. So it's bringing in a lot of employment. And also, building another bridge. We already have one bridge between US and Canada and a tunnel. So having these two already, still they're building another one. That means they see there is a more, back and forth between this US and Canada. So that shows me there is a growth potential. So that's why I'm very optimistic about Windsor. I'm still investing. But again, it's good to know how the market is behaving and take actions accordingly.
Yeah, definitely appreciate the recap there, Aditya. So let's keep jumping into the data here.
Yep. So, going back to the average sale price, like just from 2020 to 2021, huge difference, 377,000, 510,000 is currently, which is like 36% increase. That means if you have invested 100,000, bought a 500,000 property, or to take a simple numbers, if you bought a 400,000 property, 80,000 down payment and leverage the rest, the same property worth right now more than 500. That means your 80,000 already made you more than 120,000, which is like 150% returns in 1 year. That's like really tough one, nowhere heard, I feel, at least. So that's a huge, again, we don't know how long that will continue, but one of the reasons why I'm so optimistic is like Canadian government, they're like really attracting a lot of international people. The news that yesterday came up really blown out my mind, because I struggled so hard to get my PR. Recently, like the express entry system, I don't know if you're aware of, but this is a system where everyone in Canada who are like came as a student or came as a like skilled worker, only way to get a PR is they have to have certain points, and they'll pick every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, they'll pick 2,000 people. But this time, I don't know what happened. They literally gave everyone in the pool, instead of 2,000, they gave 27,000 people a PR approval. That's like a huge news, because now all those people have permanent residency. So now at least 5,000 of them out of 27,000 will be looking for a home. So that means the demand is still going up. And also, CRA already announced, like I covered in last video, they are planning to bring at least 1 million people in total, 3 years, which is like a huge, demand, which increases the demand. And due to the COVID, the supply is still low. Supply is still, because for builders, hard to build the properties because of so many things going around, hard to find the material, lumber becoming tough to find. So yeah, and along with this data, I actually put a Windsor guide for you guys, especially for Matt McKeever's audience who really love the data, the real details. So I put this PDF together. It's like almost 50 pages, a very deep guide, which goes into like literally every details, like what's about Windsor, of course about me and my team, and then more into like what's in Windsor, what type of neighborhoods are available in Windsor, and what price range you can expect in each neighborhood, what are the rents, like all those details. I literally I really believe this will give you a solid understanding of Windsor area.
Yeah, this looks amazing. Really appreciate you putting it together. So Aditya's right now in the process of putting together his landing page, guys. So we're going to throw a link in the video description down below. You can click it, jump over, and grab your free guide. And so this does look extremely comprehensive. Do you mind touching upon maybe some of the neighborhoods that you highlighted in this guide, and maybe share with us what your thoughts are or why those are maybe attractive?
Definitely. So if you're an investor, if you're looking for a cash flow property, of course, there's a saying, if you are focused on cash flow, probably try to stay within the neighborhoods that are like C plus or B minus kind of neighborhoods. So my favorite neighborhoods in Windsor right now, where you can still find a property for 300,000. Yes, the average price is 510, but you can still find 300,000 properties, 400,000 properties, maybe where you can add a secondary unit, or make some cosmetic improvements, refinance the property after 6 months. Those neighborhoods are like, one, the West Windsor University area, which is like almost West Windsor, Sandwich Town, and University area, and downtown area. This is another neighborhood that still, yes, there are pockets where a lot of junkies and still like rough, but that's where like city is actually pumping in a lot of money. If you just search for like Windsor city development grants, you will see like so many grants available for people who are doing renovations or converting commercial into residential, all sort of things. So they're pumping in money to improve those neighborhoods. So what that means is I can expect this slowly, this area could be a good place for renters. So, and already I lived in those areas, actually, both the areas. I lived in downtown, I lived in West Windsor. They're actually not that bad. It's just the stigma that many people have. And nowadays, a lot of immigrants live in this area. So it's pretty much improving. So another neighborhood that I would look is Central Windsor. That's another, like between University, downtown, and Walkerville. So just between those pockets. So that's a Central Windsor. That pocket also, you can still find properties under 400, maybe even duplexes, multifamily. Recently, one of our clients got a property like fourplex for 450,000, which is becoming tough. But the thing is, these are the neighborhood. Like if you're going for the best neighborhood, obviously everyone wants the best neighborhood. But these are the pockets where I would focus on, where there is definitely it's a ripple effect. Like Walkerville is one of the best one right now, but just outside is the Central Windsor. So slowly it's expanding. So people are, once the border is closed, obviously you're going to go to the next one. So that's what's happening. And I feel like this is where you can get cash flows, that the properties that can cash flow. And at the same time, because that slowly the growth is happening, you will get good appreciation as well. So it's like a double-edged sword. Of course, if you have a good place and vet the tenants properly, you will get good quality tenants. It's just how you keep your place. If you don't do any renovations, if you just rent it as is, obviously you're going to get the quality of tenants that based on quality of your property.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're like a homeowner looking to move into a nice place, nice neighborhood where you want to have a really good school district, one of my favorite one is South Windsor. And also this is also a great neighborhood where you can, so this is also a great neighborhood where the best schools in Windsor, top 4 of them are in South Windsor. So if you're looking for best schools for your kids, probably this is the neighborhood you can look into. And also my good friend Savio, who actually a duplex conversion king, he loves to buy the bungalows in South Windsor and convert them into add another unit in the basement. Now, obviously you have cash flow, and also you will get way better quality tenants compared to other neighborhoods. So that's one of my favorite one. Similar to South Windsor, right now you can find bungalows where you can do a duplex conversions. Is the next one is South Walkerville and Walkerville. That's another one where it's a little bit challenging to find nice single family homes, probably under 400. But again, as a investor, probably you're gonna just work a little harder.
So Aditya, just kind of talking about what you've seen in the last 30 days, has there been any transactions that have stood out or any deals you want to highlight for the audience?
Yeah, so I actually got another one just just 2 weeks ago, formed up the South Windsor. That's a neighborhood I said, my favorite one. This is I paid like 210,000 over on an asking price, crazy bidding war. But this is what the proof for saying that deals are available. You got to look through with an investor hat. So this is a single family home. It has 133 feet wide lot. And currently existing house is a bungalow, 14 to 1500 square feet on the main floor, similar square footage on the basement. I want to convert that into a duplex. So add a secondary unit in the basement and also have a double car garage, which maybe, again, that's something where I have to, I'm going through the city process. If the city approves me on the minor variance, I can also add another bachelor unit in the garage. And on top of it, the land. So the property is sitting on the 70 to 80 square feet. So I have 45 by 120 something extra lot on the side. So if I do the severance and get a minor variance, again, that's why also a little bit of betting. If I get a minor variance, I'll be able to build another home with a secondary unit. But in the worst case scenario, I can build a tiny home. City said, yes, you can build another tiny home. Probably they have some requirements, 10% of the total lots square footage. So probably I can build at least 800 square feet tiny home, probably that can bring me $1,500. So in the worst case scenario, I'll have 4 units in a best neighborhood. In the best case scenario, I'll have 6 units.
Interesting. Yeah, love the innovative approach. And so if someone's interested in doing a deal like that, this is something that you'll walk your clients through as well?
Yeah, it's actually funny. My client, I bought this property with my client. My client really liked it. And I was like, I fell in love with it too, because the numbers don't lie, right? It's one of the best neighborhood. And she said, like, you know what, probably I would prefer to have a partner because it's just need a lot more cash, because purchase, first of all, we don't know if it's going to appreciate, if it's going to appraise for the price we gave, because we gave based on the competition, and we almost gave like 50,000 over the market value. So that's where we need cash, and then for all the renovations we need cash, and for severance. So because I really loved it, we both partnered up on it. Yes, we all, if my client wanted that property alone, I would just step off, because always we find those kind of deals for our clients all the time.
Awesome. Yeah, really appreciate you sharing that. And that is like a creative deal, but in these hot markets, it's often being able to look past just the surface level, right? And dig a bit deeper into what exactly is the underlying opportunity. How can I make the most of this property in this situation? So obviously right now, the Windsor real estate market still very hot, very competitive. Any recommendations or best practices for people that are looking to compete in the Windsor market?
Yeah, again, like you mentioned, you got to see through that. Just where can I add value, and do your due diligence, right? So one thing always, if you're buying, just stay focused, because you get deviated because of this. Everyone talks about, oh, market is so hot, hard to find. Yes, it's so hot, but it's not that hard to find. It's just you need to keep looking, keep analyzing, keep making offers. That's one of the universal fact, but many people get off track just from that, because they didn't get the property on the first offer. They didn't get the property on the 10th offer. There are times where, for a couple of our clients, we actually made like more than 20 offers. But guess what? At the end, we got the property. And if you're an investor already own a bunch of properties in Windsor, probably maybe you got to think of which properties are the one that you don't want to keep for long run. Probably maybe this is the time where you cash out and reinvest accordingly.
Yeah, right now, when we're looking at supply and demand in almost any Ontario real estate market, demand's really outstripping supply. So it is a interesting and enticing time as a existing real estate investor to look at the portfolio and start figuring out what's a price where I wouldn't regret selling this property. And a lot of the investors I know these days, they're actually often selling their properties for more than the price that they thought. Like, man, if someone's crazy enough to pay me for it, I'll sell it at this price. Goes into multiples and ends up selling for more than that. So there's also a huge opportunity, as Aditya's saying here, for us existing investors to maybe look at rebalancing our portfolio. If you think that a certain neighborhood's gotten too hot or too aggressive, this spring could be a great time to look at selling, trying to cash in at what appears to potentially be one of the peaks in the market.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Again, it's hard to time the market, but at least we're at a good spot. We know that at least from last 15 years, this is the highest point. So, don't cash all out. Probably talk to your accountant, where you see, sometimes if you cash out one property, you will have less taxes to pay. So just, do your math, do your little bit more due diligence, act accordingly.
Yeah, awesome. Really appreciate it, Aditya. Always a wealth of information. Reminder, guys, there's a link in the video description down below. Really encourage you to grab that free guide. We'll also have a link to Aditya's own YouTube channel, because he's constantly producing his own content on the Windsor, Ontario real estate market. And before we wrap up here, any last words you want to leave with the audience?
Yep, and if you guys are interested in Windsor market, either selling or buying, investing, me and my team, Win City Real Estate team, we are more than happy to help you guys. You can book a call with me on our website. And I'll leave it in the description, man.
Awesome. Appreciate it and looking forward to chatting next month.
Yeah, looking forward for it. Thank you.
Thanks again to Aditya for taking the time to shoot this video. Reminder, as always, a link to all his contact information is in the video description down below. Really want to encourage you guys, if you're looking for a local expert, reach out to him. But again, I'd love to hear your thoughts, your opinions, as well as your experiences in that comment section. Are you investing in Windsor? Have you been thinking about investing in Windsor? Have you been sitting on the sideline for the last couple of years wishing you would have invested in Windsor? Because I mean, the numbers kind of speak for themselves right now, but let us know in the comments, what are your thoughts on Windsor?